Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivara Dari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivara Dari Jasodanandana Prajadana Ranjana Jasodanandana Prajadana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivara Dari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivara Dari Jasodanandana Prajadana Ranjana Jasodanandana Prajadana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant with feeling, chant with love. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody clap. Clap, everyone clap. On the beat. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Coming in for a safe landing here in Śrī Vrindavan, flying in that spiritual sky. That's called Goloka Airlines. Fly Goloka Airlines, it'll get you there on time. Ki Jai. Okay, now we're going to have an ecstatic Bhagavad-gītā class. The harmonium can stay here. I use it as a book stand for my iPad. Okay. Today we're studying from Srimad Bhagavad-gītā, Chapter 5, text number 16. Is it up there? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gane tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj param. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Ladies. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Jnānena tu tadagyanam. Yeṣāṁ nāśitam ātmanaḥ. Teṣām āditya-vaj prakāśayati param. Jñānena, by knowledge, to, but, tat, that, ajñānam, nescience, yeṣāṁ, whose nāśitam is destroyed, ātmanaḥ, of the living entity, teṣām, there, āditya-vat, like the rising sun, jñānam, knowledge, prakāśayati, discloses, param, Krishna consciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Padivajakacarja Astatadasada Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Bharakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana lalita Śrī Viṣakanvitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyanishatarine. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Purport. Those who have forgotten Krishna must certainly be bewildered, but those who are in Krishna consciousness are not bewildered at all. It is stated in the Bhagavad-gītā, sarvaṁ jñāna-plavena jñānaṁ sarva-karmāṇi and nahi jñānena sadṛśam. Knowledge is always highly esteemed. And what is that knowledge? Perfect knowledge is achieved when one surrenders unto Krishna. As is said in the 7th chapter, 19th verse, bahūnāṁ janmanam ante jñānamāṁ prapadyate. After passing through many, many births, when one perfect in knowledge surrenders unto Krishna, or when one attains Krishna consciousness, then everything is revealed to him as everything is revealed by the sun in the daytime. The living entity is bewildered in so many ways. For instance, when he unceremoniously thinks himself God, he actually falls into the last snare of nescience. If the living entity is God, then how can he become bewildered by nescience? Does God become bewildered by nescience? If so, then nescience, or Satan, is greater than God. Real knowledge can be obtained from a person who is in perfect Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one has to seek out such a bona fide spiritual master and under him learn what Krishna consciousness is. For Krishna consciousness will certainly drive away all nescience as the sun drives away darkness. Even though a person may be in full knowledge that he is not this body, but is transcendental to the body, he still may not be able to discriminate between the soul and the supersoul. However, he can know everything well if he cares to take shelter of the perfect, bona fide, Krishna-conscious spiritual master. One can know God and one's relationship with God only when one actually meets a representative of God. A representative of God never claims that he is God, although he has paid all the respect ordinarily paid to God because he has knowledge of God. One has to learn the distinction between God and the living entity. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa therefore stated in the 2nd chapter, 2:12, that every living being is an individual and that the Lord is also individual. They were all individuals in the past, they are individuals at present, and they will continue to be individuals in the future, even after liberation. At night, we see everything as one in the darkness, but in daytime, when the sun is up, we see everything in its real identity. Identity with individuality is spiritual life and is real knowledge. So, we must take advantage of these enlightening words of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa and this perfect explanation by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivajakacharya Astatarasadashe Shemad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tri Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, why is that described by Śrī Kṛṣṇa in this way, you see? There's so many knowledges, aren't there? Well, 1 + 1 = 2. This is knowledge, isn't it? 2 + 2 = 4. You see? Or India is, far away from the United States, as we experienced recently on our flights. These are knowledge also, but these are not knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, you see. So there's certain types of knowledges. There's mundane knowledge and there is spiritual knowledge. So we get so much mundane knowledge in the school and from our parents, etc. There's so much knowledge, mundane knowledge available. So we have to find that knowledge by which nescience is destroyed. Unfortunately, that knowledge is very hard to find. There's so much so-called knowledge out there too from the Mayavadis. Just like when I was a young spiritual seeker looking for self-realization, I went to the campus bookstore there in Austin, the university co-op. Let me find some book, How I Become Self-Realized. And then I found it, the book by Alan Watts. And Alan told me, he said, actually you are God, but right now you are playing hide and go seek with yourself. So come out of hiding and be God once again. That sounded pretty good. So I tried it. It didn't work. I tried it for a couple of days and it didn't work. I was thinking, why are so many things not going according to my desire when I'm God? I said, if I'm God, then why doesn't everything happen like the way I want it to happen? So I threw that book away. So there's so many things out there. And then when Swami came, it was interesting. A Swami from India came and spoke at the Methodist Student Center, a Christian student center by the campus. And he said, I went to hear this Swami speak, and he said, I'm God, you're God, and we're all God. Another Swami had got his e-course, it wasn't e in those days, it was a mail course. You get it in the mail. There was no email in those days. It was paper mail. And he had me sit in a dark room with a candle to become spiritually enlightened. I sit and stare at a candle in a dark room. And that didn't work either. So I threw the messes away. I trashed them. I was misled by so many bogus so-called teachers with spiritual knowledge. So mundane knowledge is very easy to obtain, and bogus spiritual knowledge is also very easy to obtain in today's marketplace. It's a sad reality. Bogus spiritual knowledge is very easy to obtain in today's marketplace. But genuine spiritual knowledge, you've got to be really fortunate to get that. Genuine spiritual knowledge is very rare to find, unfortunately. Our movement, Hare Krishna movement, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, our mission is to make genuine spiritual knowledge very easily accessible to everybody in every town, village, hamlet, and home throughout the entire planet, and indeed the entire universe, and indeed the entire multi-universes. We want to make this knowledge available to everybody, you see. Even in the kindergarten and the schools, they learn Krishna book, you see. We want that everybody shall have access to this knowledge so the world situation can be turned back to its natural original state of pure spiritual life, you see. Well, what if the world doesn't take it? Well, at least we can take it, you see. So that means we have to hear it from the bona fide acharya. We have to hear it from the bona fide spiritual master and the bona fide Vaishnavas. What is the actual knowledge, you see? If we hear submissively the actual knowledge from the spiritual masters, the Supreme Lord, then what happens is it turns on everything, you see. At night you can't see anything. When you flip on the light switch or the sun comes up, boom, you see everything, you see. As Krishna says, thus his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. So Prabhupada then elaborates more. He takes us deeper, deeper, deeper. The inner meaning of this wonderful verse by Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Those who have forgotten Krishna must certainly be bewildered. Well, do any of you all feel bewildered? I know from the emails I get. I know everybody's bewildered here. I get so many emails from bewildered students on the e-course. Guru Maharaj, I'm bewildered, I'm bewildered. So many bewilderments, you see. Now we know why we're bewildered, because we've forgotten Krishna. So I always answer now, why don't you remember Krishna? Why don't you chant Hare Krishna with focus, with love, like a child crying for the mother, you see. That's how we get out of our bewildered consciousness. We're bewildered by this, we're bewildered by that. We're trying to solve our bewilderment in this way, in that way, in this way, in that way. We're missing the point. We are bewildered not because of this situation, that situation, the GBC, the temple president, the guru, or whatever it may be. You see? We're bewildered simply because we've forgotten Krishna. So if we just forget, if we just remember Krishna, boom, bewildered's gone, you see. We may be sick, we may be healthy, we may be poor, we may be wealthy, we may be famous, we may be infamous, we may be this or that, so many situations that are causing us confusion and bewilderment, illusion, profusion and confusion. But if you simply remember Krishna, boom, it's all finished, you see. As Bhagavad-gītā says, Ek parnamasi rato me, just once relish the nectar of the name, you see. That's all it takes. If we can just experience Krishna one time with full attention, with feelings of love in the heart, then everything becomes clarified. There's no more confusion and profusion, you see. And then Prabhupada continues, those who are in Krishna consciousness are not bewildered. So if you're bewildered, here's the Prabhupada statement, you're not Krishna conscious. If you say, I'm Krishna conscious, but I'm bewildered, no, you're not Krishna conscious. You understand the point? If you say, I'm bewildered, I'm Krishna conscious, I'm bewildered, you are confused. If you are bewildered, you're not Krishna conscious, that's all. So be Krishna conscious, no more bewilderment, immediately gone. You see. Kick out bewilderment and with boot. Kick that damn bewilderment out of your heart, simply remembering Krishna. It's so simple. As we all say, it's simple for the simple and difficult for the crooked, you see. If you have a simple, humble mood of realizing I'm not Krishna conscious because I think I'm the center of all existence, so let me get out of this madness and come back to actual Krishna consciousness, then you can actually become free from bewilderment. Nothing will ever bewilder you ever again if you're Krishna conscious, you see. So the duty of the spiritual master is to train the disciple how to not be bewildered by always being Krishna conscious. It's a real struggle, but that's what we have to do. The spiritual master's duty is to train the disciples how not to be forgetful of Krishna, how to always remember Krishna in every situation, all times, places, and circumstances. In this way, there's no bewilderment. Everything's wonderful once again. Knowledge is always highly esteemed, Prabhupada explains. Well, then why is not esteemed, you could ask. Why these people don't highly esteem Prabhupada's books? Why they're not placed in the center of every college course? Why they're not highly, how can Prabhupada say that knowledge is always highly esteemed? We may have doubt about that. Well, it's always highly esteemed by those who are learned. Not by the fools and rascals, the cows, the asses, the donkeys, the pigs. They don't highly esteem it, the monkeys. If you offer them a Prabhupada's book or banana, they'll take the banana, isn't it? They don't highly esteem this knowledge. It is highly esteemed by those who are actually on the platform of human life, you see. Those who do not highly esteem this knowledge, they are animals, dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. Those who are actually in the human platform, tato brahma jigyasa, this human life is meant for self-realization. So those who are actually serious about self-realization, for them, this knowledge is highly esteemed, always, you see. And what is that knowledge? Prabhupada asks. Perfect knowledge is achieved when one surrenders unto Krishna. Well, can I have the knowledge without surrendering? Just by reading the books, you could ask. Can I just read? I don't feel like surrendering now, but can I have this knowledge just by reading the books? Well, I can tell you, my dear devotees, there's two types of knowledge, theoretical and practical. Jnana and vijnana. You can recite so many verses, you know. Tadvadi pranipatena paripashnena. You can also train, a parrot can also go cuck-a-cock, or the crow, you know, the crows can go cuck-a-crow, cuck-a-crow. You can recite verses like a parrot without understanding what's going on, you see. Make a show. Yes, I'm highly learned, you see. I know there's so many slokas from the Gita and the Bhagavad-gītā. Just see how advanced I am, how learned I am, you see. But if you don't actually realize the essence, you see, then your knowledge is superficial. It's not actually achieved. You cannot achieve perfect knowledge until you surrender to Krishna, and then all the Vedic wisdom is revealed to you automatically from within the heart. You see? So if you want to become learned, that's very good. Prabhupada said, read all the books. He told us, read the Nectar of Ocean 3 or 4 times when it was first published. He wants us to read the book. But even more important is to actually practice within the books, and then all the knowledge in these books becomes revealed to you automatically. Then Prabhupada continues, after passing through many, many births, and one perfect knowledge surrenders into Krishna, or one attains Krishna consciousness, and everything is revealed to him, like the sun reveals everything in the daytime. So it's reconfirmed here. You see? Krishna consciousness is actually the stage when everything becomes revealed to you. So if I'm still in confusion, I'm not bewildered about this and that means I'm not Krishna conscious. I'm in the Krishna conscious movement, but I'm not actually Krishna conscious yet. I see. Like Bhaktivinoda has made it very clear, he's actually fully realized, but he's presenting our position. You know that bhajam, beautiful, beautiful bhajam. Kambe hambe bolo se dinama. When, oh, when will that day be mine? Aparada gucci, shudaname ruchi, kripa bole hambe hrido yeṣāṁ. When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine? Kambe hambe bolo se dinamar. When, oh, when will that day be mine? So, my dear listeners, right now, let's face it, we're in Maya, isn't it? I know I'm in Maya. We're all still in Maya. We think this is me, isn't it? I think I have a pensioner. I don't have a pensioner. You see? This body is not me, you see. So we have to be a little embarrassed, even though we got tilak on the nose and kantimala on the neck, dhotis and saris, and we're going to Mangalarti, and I hope we're all going to Mangalarti. We're still not Krishna conscious yet. So, but one thing we can do, and that is to hanker for Krishna consciousness, you see. When will that day be mine? We have that, even though we're not Krishna conscious, we hanker for it. Krishna recognizes, oh yes, this devotee is hankering for pure bhakti. You see? So even if you don't have it yet, if we hanker for it, Krishna recognizes, here is a person who's sincerely desiring to awaken pure bhakti within his heart. Let me bless that person. So that blessing will happen, especially here in Vrajadam, where everything is magnified 1,000 times. So while you're here in Vraj, and wherever we go, but especially here in Vraj, let us hanker, intensely hanker at every minute. When will that day come when I become completely pure devotee? As Prabhupada told me in one letter, he said, now you must become qualified to see Krishna face to face. Here I'm seeing you all face to face, you see. Just imagine if Krishna became manifest, I actually see Krishna Radha in front of me, smiling at my class. You see, just imagine if I'm hankering for that day. You see. Hope they're not frowning. So let us increase this mood of hankering. When will it come to me? When will that day come when I can become fully absorbed in pure bhakti with not even a tinge, even not of a hint of a tinge of any material desire within my heart? Let that day come now, right now, not next week, not tomorrow, not an hour from now, not at Mangalarti tomorrow. Let it come right now at this instant. Let me become the pure devotee, spotlessly pure Vaishnava, you see. So let's dive a little deeper into these amazing words from our beloved Srila Prabhupada. We're all Prabhupada-anugas here. First generation, second generation, or whatever, we're all Prabhupada-anugas here. We're all taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada continues, for instance, when he unceremoniously thinks himself God. I like that word, unceremoniously. That's quite a cool word here, unceremoniously. Why does Prabhupada choose that word, unceremoniously? What does that mean, unceremoniously? It's an interesting word to look up in the dictionary. Prabhupada's command of English is amazing, even though it's not his native tongue. And what is speak of Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati? His English is so erudite, even the most learned English scholars have a hard time following what he's saying. See? Amazing. Just like Bhakti-siddhanta, he describes Krishna in this way. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the passage thereof in his work of creation of millions of worlds. His potency remained inseparable. Pretty amazing. He's an undifferentiated entity. His command of English is amazing, and Prabhupada follows in his footsteps also, unceremoniously. Well, something is just like there's a ceremony going on, everything's going on very nicely, somebody's being congratulated for becoming a life member, it's a whole ceremony. They put a nice little flower garland is given very nicely, and everybody's applauding, always become a life member, you see. It's a nice ceremony. But what happens if come in and they put cow dung, or they put stool on his head or something like that, unceremoniously. Instead of putting a flower garland, they put stool on his head, pig stool on his head. That'd be very unceremonious, you see. That's a gross example, but it's a good example, unceremoniously. So when we think that we're God, it's like somebody putting pig stool on your head. Very, very unceremonious thing to do. I'm God. Would you like to have some pig stew put on your head? Anybody volunteer? Oh, I'd like to have some pig stew put on my head. A very unceremonious thing. Well, thinking I'm God is something like that. I'm God. I'm God. Give me some cow dung on my head. Not pig, but pig dung on my head. Then Prabhupada explains he actually falls into the last snare of nescience. Why does the Prabhupada say the last snare? Why not the first snare? Why would Prabhupada say the last snare of nescience? But there's so many nesciences, The last, in this context, means the worst one, the one that covers all nesciences. The last snare of nescience. That's the ultimate nescience, the final, take all the nesciences, a big list, is this one, this one, this one, this one. Finally get to the last one, it includes all the previous nesciences. So you could say the ultimate snare of nescience. And Prabhupada says last, and meaning the ultimate snare of nescience. It's the granddaddy of all of them. The last snare of nescience. I am God. So then Prabhupada gives a very nice example. If you are God, then how you become bewildered by nescience? They say that actually I'm God, but it's like Alan Moth was saying, you're God, but you forgot about it, and they'll come back to being God again. But that doesn't make sense. If I'm God, how could I ever forget? How could nescience ever cover me? How could forgetfulness ever cover me if I'm God? What could cause me to forget? Because forgetfulness is my own energy. It's under my power, under my control. How could I ever forget that I'm God? You see, it doesn't make sense. It's illogical, it's not scientific, it's stupid to think that God could ever fall from being God. It's a very powerful argument given by Prabhupada. If they say, I'm God, but I forgot about it, and I said, then that means forgetfulness is greater than God. Nothing can be greater than God, so how you can say, my dear sir, now you've remembered that you're God, but how you can ever forget that you're God? It's a very powerful argument to defeat these Mayavadis. And then Prabhupada pulls on a word from Christianity, interesting enough. Satan, Prabhupada said. If so, then nescience or Satan is greater than God. Prabhupada usually doesn't use words from Christianity. That's how we learned growing up as Christians. Satan, if you sin, then Satan will take you to hell. We were taught like that. So here Prabhupada is using the word Satan here, a Christian term, is greater than God. It's very interesting, Prabhupada's use of this term. Real knowledge can be attained from a person who has a perfect Krishna consciousness. And who is that person? Prabhupada then points out that person is the bona fide spiritual master. And under him we learn what Krishna consciousness is. So some of our friends, the Ritviks, they say, well, only Prabhupada can be the spiritual master. So that means only Prabhupada can be a guru and nobody else can be a guru. Then why did Prabhupada tell us all to become guru? Why did Lord Chaitanya tell us all to become guru? Why did Prabhupada say on April 6, 1975 in Mayapur, it is better to become acharya, but not when your spiritual master is present, but after his disappearance, then it is better to become acharya. Acharya in this context, Prabhupada is saying, means initiating guru. So how the Ritviks can defeat that argument? They just try to word juggle the way around it. But Prabhupada said it is better to become acharya. He said, now our purpose is to create acharyas. Prabhupada said in this lecture, our purpose is to create acharyas. He said, now we have 10,000, then we will have 100,000, and 1 million. He said, then we will have 10 million, there will be no scarcity of acharyas. Prabhupada's vision for ISKCON to have 10 million initiating gurus on this planet. Going to every town and every village, getting everybody engaged. 10 million acharyas initiating gurus. That was Prabhupada's vision. You can hear the lecture if you want. April 6, 1975. It's on the internet. You can hear the lecture yourself. You don't believe me. It's very clearly stated by Prabhupada. 10 million acharyas, and all the devotees applauded. It was ecstasy. Haribol! The whole temple room of people, they came from all over, everybody cheered in ecstasy. 10 million. He said 10 million, he said there'll be no scarcity of acharyas. They would go to 10 million, and there'll be no scarcity of acharyas. So, even though the bona fide spiritual master thinks himself totally unfit, he thinks he's just a dog, basically. But Prabhupada said on another lecture, if you love me, love my dog. So, spiritual master thinks himself the dog of God. So, if you love Krishna, you have to love his dog also. So, we have a few minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Or is it all very clear? Here's one. You don't have a question? No question? Okay, from the ladies' side, any question? Here's a question here.
Thank you for the class. In the Purport, as it is mentioned that regarding true knowledge, we can attain true knowledge if we surrender unto Krishna and spiritual master. And also, in the Purport, there is a reference given bahūnāṁ jñānanaṁ, āditya-vaj. So after many lifetimes, the person who surrenders unto Krishna, they can only attain that knowledge. So, my question is like that true knowledge, what are the mean of gaining that true knowledge? Only by reading scriptures, because surrender doesn't come. True surrender in the beginning. And does that mean that one will never have that true knowledge initially?
Let me try to understand it again. You're saying, just make it real short and clear. Just a few words distinctly said.
What are the means to attain true knowledge?
To attain true knowledge.
As a practicing devotee, one may not have full surrender.
Yes, but you're questioning, is full surrender required to get the knowledge? Right?
Yes.
In other words, here we are reading Prabhupada's Purport. Will this benefit us if we're not fully surrendered? Can we derive anything from Prabhupada's Purport if we're not fully surrendered to Krishna? Right? Same principle. It's compared to a seed. When the creeper is fully grown into a beautiful plant, then the full surrender is there. But in the beginning, the spiritual master, by the power of transcendental knowledge and the mercy of Krishna, he plants the seed of bhakti within the heart. So even though the devotee, the jiva, is not surrendered to Krishna yet, by contacting the bona fide spiritual master, even rendering a little service by chance, or getting a book, getting some prasadam, just saying Hare Krishna. Just like I went to for my nerve pain, I went to some doctor, chiropractor in Austin, and I said, after he finished the treatment, I said, can you repeat these words? Hare Krishna. And he said, okay. He said, Hare Krishna. He didn't know what it meant, but he said, Hare Krishna. And I said, now you've been unlimitedly blessed. So is he fully surrendered? No, but he did chant. Did he chant Hare Krishna? Yes. So even though we're still in nescience, even if one hears the Hare Krishna mantra, says Hare Krishna, he happens to get prasadam or see a Ratha Yatra cart, the seed is planted in their heart. The seed of knowledge is planted. They got transcendental knowledge yet? No. The seed is planted. And someone may see the Ratha Yatra card, the seed is planted. Just like in my own life, I heard one of my friends chanted Hare Krishna in my apartment. He said, everybody repeat this. And he encouraged everybody in the room to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Was I awakened in transcendental knowledge? No. Was the seed planted? Yes. And I actually got a picture of Radha Govinda. I started offering my food to them. Made a little altar. Because I was still playing with Mayavadi philosophy, actually, at the time. The seed didn't become... That was in 1968, and the seed did not become fully grown until 71, when I surrendered to Prabhupada. So that was like 69, like 2.5 years later, you see. But the seed was planted. So we're planting, we're giving him a book, giving him prasadam, we're planting the seed of transcendental knowledge on their heart. It's not fully realized, but then gradually, it's worded a little here, a little water here, a little water there, gradually, boom, you see. Yes, I must surrender to Krishna, you see. So does that answer it? Ramanaji, you want to add some? Here's a question. Any questions? Now it's the men turn. Any questions over here? Yes. Microphone to... A little closer to the mic.
How works that process from the theoretical level to practical?
I'll get my ear help, my hearing help here, Bhajka, sure.
I just want to clarify how this process works from theoretical to practical level.
Yes. I just answered that actually. The seed of realized knowledge is there, but it's only theoretical in the beginning. But the more it's watered by this, by that, it gradually becomes realized. It begins as theoretical, and gradually it becomes practical. It gradually transforms into practical knowledge, realized knowledge.
So the point is to chant mantra without offenses.
So it means the main point is to chant mantra without offenses?
Beginning, we're chanting with offenses, isn't it? But chanting is enchanting, isn't it? So the more you chant, sincerely trying to burn away the offenses, the more they're burned away. Just like Bhaktivinoda says, when will that day come when I chant without any offenses? So we keep chanting at least 16 rounds every day, following the regulated principles, no illicit sex life, no meat eating, no intoxication, and no gambling. By following these regulated principles and chanting regularly, gradually, all these offenses are purged from the heart, and full realized knowledge is there. We can experience Krishna directly at every minute.
Like in the introduction mantra of Mayavadi, this mentions Shashavam is āditya-vaj,
It's like in that mantra, Om Ajñānat-mirandasya. Like we change it, right?
Yeah? What about it? What about that mantra?
So it means first I will chant with, I will be in ignorance, but by Guru's mercy, I will be purified.
Yeah, the more you can please your spiritual master, the more you become purged of all the offenses. Actually, Yashadeve para bhaktir, by the mercy of the spiritual master, you get the blessings of Krishna. So the more you can please the spiritual master, the more of the magic happens. So always try to please the Guru. That's the key we learned from Prabhupada. We always wanted to please Prabhupada. If he was pleased, we were in ecstasy. If he was displeased, oh wow. Prabhupada would smash us, boom, ah, oh no. But actually, in every case, we got the blessing. Whether he was pleased or he smashed us for doing things wrong. In either case, it was a blessing, you see. Either case is a blessing. So, just like First, at one point, Prabhupada was being minimized. He noticed he was being minimized as the founder of Charya, so Prabhupada became very disturbed by that. And first, sannyasi decided to make Prabhupada more prominent, so they said that Prabhupada is God. Mayavadi philosophy. Prabhupada smashed them. He said, you sannyasis are banned from ISKCON. Can you imagine banned from ISKCON? He said, now each of you must go out and open 10 temples, and after you do that, you can come back to ISKCON. They had banned them from ISKCON. They were banned. You can't associate with ISKCON anymore. You're totally banned. But it was a blessing. That's how Vishnujan opened Austin. That was it. That was temple number 2. And he took a chance. He went to the Ratha Yatra festival. He gambled and took a chance at Prabhupada's mercy. And he went in for darshan. Prabhupada said, so Vishnujan Maharaj, how many temples? And he said, 2. Prabhupada said, now you must open another 8. But Prabhupada would sometimes smash people if they really got off the track. Smash them, and it was a great blessing. That's how ISKCON Austin opened. Because Vishnu got smashed by Prabhupada for being off the track. So whether we get smashed by the spiritual master or please him, in any case, it's special mercy. We should learn how to take advantage of it. Just like one devotee in that temple in Pune, in Delhi, he said, how can I properly manage so many devotees who are working under me? I don't know how to do it. And I told him, I said, you have to love them, otherwise you're a rascal. Then you can easily manage devotees working under you. Many devotees working under you, you know how to manage all of them. I said, if you love them, there's no problem. But if you don't love them, then you're simply a rascal. I told him straight in the class, you're simply a rascal. I told him. So we have to learn how to take the spiritual master. He doesn't make up anything. The spiritual master's duty is to pass on to you that he learned from his spiritual master. And Krishna within the heart will actually help him to do that, to understand the essence of his spiritual master's teachings. So anything else? Yes, this side, microphone.
Thank you so much for enlightening and so wonderful points. Gurudev, in the Purport you mentioned that those who have forgotten Krishna will certainly be bewildered. So Srila Gurudev, in a practical norm, like what myself becomes serving in temple and engage in the services and while doing services, if some devotee comes up and says something, maybe some complaint or something, or says something to me in a personal note, so for a time being I get irritated and bewildered. So
just make it a short and simple question.
Yeah. So like if somebody says something,
you'll be bewildered your mind.
we become bewildered, and doesn't mean focusing on our service and focusing on Krishna, we become the center, and there is the gratefulness of Krishna.
Somebody bewilders your mind. What?
They might say something about you, or
Somebody says something that bewilders your mind. Then how do you react to it?
yes, because that time
Shastra Chaksus. If I'm bewildered, is there something wrong with me or something wrong with them, right? Is my understanding wrong or is their understanding wrong? That's the question. That's why you have to read the books. See through the eyes of the books. Maybe some bewildering thing, like I got an email from my former temple president. I got an email, he said, ISKCON assassinated Prabhupada. Whoa! ISKCON assassinated Prabhupada. That's my former temple president sent me an email. He started a whole movement to prove that Prabhupada was assassinated by the ISKCON devotees. Wow! So, that could be bewildering to hear that Prabhupada was assassinated by ISKCON. So, what to do? Do I think ISKCON was wrong? I think that he was wrong. So how am I supposed to deal with it? Well, you have to see through the eyes of Scripture. So I immediately understood that he's trying to assassinate, because ISKCON is Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I am ISKCON. So this God brother is trying to assassinate Prabhupada. He's trying to assassinate Prabhupada, not us. You see, I know the loving feelings of the devotees. I know them. I know those devotees. They're my dear God brothers. I know their mood. This person's envious because he wants to be the big shot. Because he's not a big leader. he's envious of those who are the leaders, so he wants to cut them down and make himself the leader. That's what he's trying to do. So I can clearly understand and not be bewildered by it, because my own knowledge, my own experience of the devotees and what's in Prabhupada's books. So you have to become learned. That's why it's important. Everyone should hear these classes and read the books. Everybody should become learned. So if somebody says somebody bewilders you, can understand, instead of being bewildered by it, you can understand they're bewildered. You see? That's my realization. So now I'm trying to block the emails. I hope the MacMan will block all the emails from this rascal so-called devotee claiming that ISKCON assassinated Prabhupada. Can you imagine what a horrible demoniac thing? He's claiming that we assassinated Prabhupada? I mean, it doesn't make... Prabhupada was old and getting ready to die anyway. It doesn't make any sense. Prabhupada's already an old man getting ready to leave his body. Why would you want to assassinate him? He's already leaving the body anyway. It doesn't make any sense. So I wasn't bewildered by it. I understand this person is totally bewildered by envy. He's totally bitten by the snake of envy, and he's going to the Yamadut. He's going to. I pity for him, but he's going at the time of death. I pity. He's going to be very, very bad situation at the time when he leaves his body. This so-called godbrother of mine, a very horrible situation he's going to face at the time of death. I can't imagine the horror he's going to go through when he leaves his body. So I wasn't bewildered by it. We actually, our time is up. Our time is up. So, one more question. Guru Vandana Devida.
When the knowledge will be gradually revealed, how to desire to become fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness right now?
But it say distinctly in short, in a very short, distinct way, but clearly.
When the knowledge will be gradually revealed.
Gradually? Gradually revealed? My hearing is not good, so. How to become Krishna conscious when the knowledge is gradually revealed. Well, you start off with the basics. I am not this body. And start off with the basics. It's like how do you become a great mathematician? Some of the greatest most famous big mathematicians in history, where did they start? 1 plus 1 equals 2. You got to start with the basics. Just like in the Krishna Balaram temple, was it put up, boom, no, 1 brick. You have to start off with the basics and gradually build, isn't it? Take the basics. I am not this body. I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. And that's how you build it. 1 step at a time. You see? That's how you do it, isn't it? You expect it all? Little one shot. You got to start with the basics and gradually build up. I am not this body. What is it? That's nice. It's all there. Hare Krishna. Just dive deep into the name. It's all there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. All the Vedic wisdom is right there in that one mantra. So just chant with attention, chant with love, and you'll get amazing realizations every time you chant. It's simple thing. It's simple for the simple and difficult for the crooked. Take it in a simple, humble way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. I think we're getting a signal from the sponsors here. It's time to wrap it up because they have to go somewhere and lock it up. So we'll go ahead and end it here. We thank you all for tuning in. Thank you very much.